Warren Buffett has this amazing quote that says like, be fearful when people are greedy,
Yep.
be greedy when others are fearful. And you look at that because it's not a natural thing to be an entrepreneur. It's not a natural thing. If it was natural and it was easy, then it wouldn't hold the value that it holds, and you wouldn't be in the position that that you would be. And so I think like when you go into something like that, you expect it to be difficult. You expect those late hours. I can't tell you how many times I've sat in my business and just cried. You just break down. You're like, it's so difficult. You're pushing through everything that like society has told you you're not supposed to do. You're taking these huge risks, working your ass off. You're skipping parties. You're skipping dates. You're skipping events. You're doing all these things, and without a guarantee that it's even going to be worth it at the end, right? And so there's definitely that tug and pull about am I doing the right thing? And Hormozi talks about this. Sometimes you'll do it for 5, 6, 7 years, and there still won't be any results.
Yeah.
And at the end, you might not succeed, right? But I think what a life wasted to just be normal, to be average. And you meet older people who are kind of nearing the end of their lives, and the majority of them, they just talk about all the regrets that they had.
Yep.
Now that might be something that you can only see once you're there, and you can and while you're in it, it might not be as clear. But that's a really scary thing. You get to the end of your life where you don't have the opportunity to redo, and now that you're like, I get it now, just send me back and I'll do it. And nobody ever talks about the regret of trying, the regret of walking up to that girl, the regret of going to travel. Just talk about the regrets of what they didn't do and what they allowed to take control over them and hold them back from pursuing the life that they wanted. And so through it all, I always tell myself, if I want easy, I can just go get a job.
Yeah.
Right. And that's always an option, and that scares the shit out of me.
Yeah. Yeah. We experience time linearly, but we understand it backwards. And so one of the greatest things I ever did was quit my job, go all in on creating videos, and moving to Miami on a limb. There was no certainty that it was going to work out, but I figured it out. And I am still celebrating that win from 2022. We were just on the yacht last week. I have great friends around me. I have great networks. I'm in Miami. I'm in South Beach. I love my life. And that's because I took a risk in the past, and now I'm still praising myself. I'm still celebrating myself from a hard decision I made in the past, but now it works out. And we talk a lot about this.
Yeah.
There's somebody who got his shit together in his 20s, and there's somebody who got his shit together in his 30s. They're the same age. When they meet at 35, they will be unrecognizable. And that's something that I stress myself. I believe the flood is coming, and I'm trying to build my ark now. So when it does come, I will be in preparation to be safe, to be secure, and then I can get my loved ones and my friends and my family, make sure that they're secured. Because I am at times being stoic, where I'm putting off instant pleasure, instant gratification to get work done now that will set me up in a advantageous and desirable future.
And I think that perspective, having it now, and we've spoken about delayed gratification a lot. It's one of the most difficult things to do, especially at our age.
Yeah.
I deleted social media a while back, and I'm not sure if you've watched the Social Dilemma.
Yeah.
And so and I've heard multiple psychologists speaking about what it does to your brain and how everything around us, today, we're able to order a car from our phone, right? You click a button, it's there. You're able to order food immediately. If you want to go look at porn, you're able to see the most beautiful women on the planet with just a couple clicks, right? You're able to get everything you want super quick, and when these reels and everything on social media and these dopamine hits, it gives everything to you immediately, that immediate gratification. And when you look around, I think that's one of the largest epidemics that we're facing here in the U.S. is everyone's desire to have it right now.
Yep.
Right? And for me, the gym is always an amazing example. When you walk in and you lift weights for the first time, you'll see virtually no difference. And 2 weeks later, you'll see virtually no difference. In a month, you'll start to see a little bit. In 6 months, you'll start to see a lot more. And in a year, and 3 years, 4 years later of going in every single day and not seeing immediate results, you look back on it and you go, this is the greatest thing I've done for myself. And it was earned, because it's not something that you can just buy. You can't buy a good body. You can even take steroids. You still need to show up in the gym and work out. And so I think at our age, it's a conflict, man. On one hand, we get one life. We're young, we're good looking, we're fit, we're in Miami. We want to have fun, we want to have build good memories. And on the other hand, we have, you know, if we just even live to the average of 75, 78, we have another 50 years on this planet. And that ends, those 20s, they end. And 30s, and 40s, and family, and 50s, and 60s, and grandchildren. And if you don't set yourself up in a position to where you can, you know, to where when you reach a point and you're not able to take all those risks and you're not as flexible and you have children, and, you know, like you were talking about the flood coming eventually, if you don't set yourself up, I think you look back and you go, oh shit, like, you know, those memories of the parties and the girls I was with are gone. And now I'm standing in front of my wife and I don't know how I'm going to pay my bills next month. And I can't just go in and full send 100K to try to build some business. And I think that level of stress will be something that is avoidable when at this age you say, look, this isn't the 80s anymore, it's not the 90s. A lot of things are changing in the world. And I think, you know, in terms of traveling, when you travel to a place like Colombia, I was in Albania.
Oh shit.
You know, you go to Albania, communism ended there in the 90s.
Wow.
And before that, they were completely shut out from the world. They had a crazy dictator who built 173,000 bunkers in all over the country. You see these little mushroom heads because he thought the world was doomed. It was basically Europe's North Korea, you know?
Really? I didn't know that.
Completely. And so, you know, those 85-year-olds tasting Coca-Cola for the first time. And you go there and you know, in Morocco, I'm from Israel, the conflict's there, Colombia, Mexico, you go to these places and you see that the world's not all sunshine and rainbows. And it's not all about chasing your passions. And I think as the world shifts into more instability, the strong survive, and the same priorities that somebody, you know, a teenager growing up in the early 2000s or the 90s has, it's completely different from the world we live in today. And if you don't set yourself up in a way to protect yourself and your family through financial abundance, which is what gives you the power and freedom, I think looking, you know, to look back on that and to have wasted all these 20s and all this energy on strictly just things that give you immediate gratification and pleasure will be a deep regret, you know.
So I agree with you, and I have a little bit different approach. So for me, my skill is content creation, and I'm able to make decent from that. And another thing that I do is I enjoy myself when I'm going out socially, because whenever you say I can't afford that, you are projecting your ability. You are doubting your ability to make that back in the future. Now, I'm not spending thousands going out, but like, you know, if you're like, oh, I can't go out, you're gonna spend what, $60? You don't think you'll make $60 in the future? So for that, I say I'm investing in my social life.
Cool.
And so I have this skill of content creation that I'm able to support myself. And another hack is my network. You know, I have great people around me, and we're always talking about business ideas and how we're going to have that 8-figure exit. So those relationships compound over time, being in the right place, doing the work, accruing good karmic debt. And I believe that, yeah, you got to be stoic, and I can enjoy myself, be epicurious, and it will all work out.